back to the Deep Dive. This is week 25 for 2025.
And we're glad you could join us. We release these every Saturday morning.
Today, we're jumping into a really cool story, one that comes from the experts over at Bluewater Auto Restoration. It's all about a barn find.
Ah, yes, the classic barn find story. There's just something about them, isn't there?
There really is. It's more than just, finding an old car. It feels like uncovering a little piece of history.
Exactly. And what we often see at Bluewater, what makes these so compelling, is that initial mystery. It's the potential. What's hidden away? What's its story?
Right. In this particular journey, it started with just a whisper. The kind, someone mentioned something offhand.
The kind of lead that makes your ears perk up immediately if you're into cars.
Totally. Picture this. Crisp autumn morning. Leaves crunching. And word gets back to the Bluewater guys about an old-timer mentioning a car on his cousin's farm.
Just sitting there.
Just sitting there. Untouched for, decades, apparently. That's all it took to get the ball rolling.
It's amazing how often it starts like that. Just a little bit of almost legendary information. We've seen it time and again at Bluewater. These whispers turn into incredible finds.
Speaks to the magic, right?
Yeah.
The pull these old cars still have.
Definitely. The desire to rescue them, bring them back.
So, okay, flashlight ready. Heart's probably pounding a bit.
Yeah.
The Bluewater team headed out.
The thrill of the unknown.
Exactly. And the drive itself sounded like something out of a movie. Winding back roads.
Getting further off the beaten path.
Yeah, leading to this farm that they said felt like a ghost from another era. Boarded up house, sagging porch, nature just kind of taking over.
Wow, sets a real scene, doesn't it? Abandonment, time, just standing still.
And then the barn, faded red paint, roof partly caved in, doors barely hanging on. You just know something's got to be in there. The anticipation must have been huge.
Oh, absolutely. That's the moment, isn't it? Pushing open those doors.
And getting hit with that smell dust, old hay, damp earth, the smell.
Mm-hmm. And at first, just clip.
Yeah, just the usual stuff. Broken tools, bits of rusted farm equipment, rotting wood. You start to wonder, maybe it was just a rumor.
But then,
a little flash of chrome, just peeking out from under a fallen beam buried under some hay.
Ah, there it is. That first sign. Doesn't take much, does it? Just a hint.
Not at all. It cuts right through all the dust and decay.
Yeah.
And slowly they start clearing stuff away.
And more details emerge.
Yeah. Faded paint, but you can see it's two-tone. White wall tires, completely flat, of course.
Yeah.
And then those tail fins.
Ah, the fin. Okay, now we're talking iconic. Got to be late 50s, right?
Bingo. They uncovered the script on the side. Bel Air.
Bel Air. Nice. What year?
A 1956 Chevrolet Bel Air.
Wow. A 56? That's a cornerstone car. An absolute icon of American design from that era.
Right. You just picture it instantly. Even sitting there covered in grime. It was this elegance, this power.
Absolutely. The 56 Bel Air, as we talk about at Bluewater sometimes, it's not just a car. It's like a symbol. Post-war optimism style. It's all there. A rolling time capsule, like they said.
So finding it was step one. Huge step, obviously. But then came the tricky part. Who owns it?
Right. The detective work begins. The farm hadn't been in the original family for a while.
Seems like it changed hands. They had to trace the ownership back, figure out the history. Eventually, they tracked down the original farmer's grandson. Lived nearby.
And what was his reaction? Was he aware of it?
Apparently, completely surprised anyone was asking about it. His reaction was gold, that they said. Something like, been sitting there since before I was born. If you can get it out of there, you can have it.
Uh-huh. Just like that. Amazing.
Just like that. A handshake deal? You don't see that much anymore.
No, you really don't. But getting it out, that sounds like the next big hurdle.
Oh, yeah. Decades in one spot.
Mm-hmm.
Those tires were basically welded to the dirt floor.
Right. Melted into the ground almost. This is where the real work starts, isn't it? It's never just roll it out.
Nope. The Bluewater folks know this drill. It took some serious ingenuity. They had to rig up makeshift ramps, use planks.
And probably a winch. Slowly, carefully.
Exactly. Slowly winching it, inch by inch, onto a flatbed. Sounds pretty hairy, honestly. Very delicate.
I bet. One wrong move.
But they managed it.
Yeah.
And that moment, pulling it out of the dark barn into the sunlight for the first time in who knows how long.
Yeah.
Decades, for sure.
That must have felt incredible. Freedom for the car, Seeing daylight again.
Yeah. And the Bluewater guy driving the truck, and you mentioned looking in the rearview mirror, seeing this battered but beautiful Bel Air following him down the road.
Ah, that's a great image. That mix of seeing the damage, but also the potential. The journey's just beginning, really.
Which brings us to the restoration. And this wasn't like a quick flip. This was a passion project.
A labor of love, as they say. Took about a year.
Yeah, full year. Evenings, weekends,
Mm,
the whole 9 yards. First step, obviously, was assessing the damage properly.
right. What did they find? How bad was it?
Surprisingly complete, which was a huge plus. All the trim was there, mostly. But yeah, issues too. The interior. Oh, yeah. Mice had a field day. Headliner drooping, upholstery shot. Body had dents, dings, and the usual rust.
Rocker panels, lower fenders.
You got it. Those typical spots.
Yeah.
And the engine, the 265 V8, was completely frozen, seized solid.
Oof. Okay, so significant work needed, but the core was good.
That was the key thing. The frame was straight. The chrome, while pitted, was all there. It was definitely, as they put it, savable.
That's the green light you need for a project like this. So disassembly next.
Meticulous disassembly. Every nut, bolt, bracket, removed, labeled, bags, stored. They said they didn't throw anything away.
Smart. Even a totally rusted part can be a template. That's the Bluewater dedication to authenticity showing through.
Absolutely. Then tackling that engine, stripping the whole V8 down.
Cleaning everything, measuring, checking.
Replacing pistons, bearings, all the worn internals. They even did a mild cam upgrade, just a little something extra.
Nice touch, but kept the original carb.
Yep, rebuilt the original 2-barrel, kept
Oh.
it authentic feeling.
Good call. Then the body. That sounds like a huge job.
Monumental, stripping it right down to bare metal, cutting out all the rusted sections in the rockers and fenders, patching in new metal,
Hours and hours of welding, grinding, filling.
and sanding. Endless sanding and prep work, you know how it is. Getting it perfectly smooth for paint.
It's painstaking work, but the payoff?
Oh yeah, laying down that original Indie Ivory and Matador Red, seeing that glossy, show-quality finish come back, must have been amazing.
Transforms the car completely. And the interior, finding the right materials.
That was a challenge, apparently. Sourcing the period-correct red and ivory vinyl, but they did it. Reupholstered the seats to match the factory look exactly.
Dashboard refinished. New carpet.
All of it, bringing that whole cabin back to life. And don't forget the chrome.
Ah, the jewelry.
Hmm.
Rechroming or endless polishing.
Bit of both, probably. Every single piece of trim, the Bel Air scripts, the hood bird, that big distinctive grille, all brought back to a high shine.
Those details make all the difference. It's where the quality really shows.
For sure. And look, they admitted there were tough times. Stubborn bolts, parts that were impossible to find, moments where you maybe doubt you'll finish.
Every restoration has those. It's part of the process. But then you get those small wins.
Exactly. Like the first time that rebuilt engine fires up, or seeing that first coat of perfect paint go on. Those moments keep you going.
They fuel the whole thing. And then the final moment.
The first drive, getting behind that big two-tone steering wheel, hearing that V8 rumble. They said it was surreal, like actually driving back in time.
I can only imagine. All that work culminating in that moment. It's not just a car anymore. It's alive again.
And the reaction on the road, people just stopping and staring.
Oh, I bet. Turning heads everywhere, bringing smiles to faces. A 56 Bel Air in that condition, it's a showstopper.
They took it to a local cruise night, and apparently people just swarmed it, sharing stories, you know. My dad had one. I learned to drive in one.
That connection people have with these cars is amazing. It taps into memory and nostalgia. Did they ask if it was for sale?
Constantly, apparently. But the answer was always a firm no. This one wasn't about money.
No, it becomes personal after pouring that much of yourself into it. It's way more than just metal and paint. It's history brought back.
A piece of living history, lovingly rescued from obscurity, as they put it. Every fixed dent, every polished piece of chrome, it all led to that.
That really sums up the whole barn find ethos, doesn't it? It's not just mechanics, it's preservation, rescuing a story.
Giving a second life to something that mattered once, and clearly still matters to people.
Absolutely. There's a connection there. You feel like you're honoring the past somehow every time they start that engine.
They probably remember that cold morning in the dusty barn, right? Answering that call from the past.
Exactly. It's a tangible link.
Well, if this story has grabbed you and you want to see more incredible work like this, you should definitely check out the folks who did this restoration. Bluewater Auto Restoration. Their website is bluewaterautorestoration.com.
Yeah, lots of amazing projects on there. And remember, you can catch all our deep dives like this one wherever you get your podcasts.
That's right. We're on Spotify, Google Music, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and SoundCloud. Just search for the deep dive.
So plenty of ways to listen.
And finally, maybe something to think about. What forgotten stories, what hidden gems might be waiting out there in your own world, waiting for someone to rediscover them and, well, bring them back to life?
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It does. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.